The show is still Daybreak Live right here on Dominion Television, your channel of choice, where inspiration meets entertainment. It is time to take trend watch on this show this morning, and Alulu Apoidogo is back in the studio.
Yeah, such a good time to talk about what's trending across the nation. Of course, yes, shocking. While it's so important not to be a share of bad news, sometimes you just have to take them, maybe just to as a way to put some kind of reference to it so there can be actions concerning that issue. Gunmen attack Catholic Church in Benue, abduct 9 worshippers. That's the unfortunate incident that just happened according to this particular media source. And it's been a conversation just the same time that happened. There was a deployment in another place, you know, so there's that call for, do we really have that capacity to quell tension in the northwest, the north central, and every other part that is troubled? Because this, at the same time, Nigerian Army deploys special forces to Plateau State over resurgent banditry. That's almost the same time as the same time. I'm saying same time every time because it's happening at almost, you could just trace that, okay, maybe 1 hour after this is happening. So there was a crisis in Benue. There was a deployment to Plateau State. Do we really have enough deployment? Can we have enough deployment to say if there's an issue in Benue, there's an issue at the same time concurrently in Borno? Can we have deployment across those places? Do we have that much of weaponry? Do you have that much of intelligence? Do we have that much of human resources to say, do we have soldiers enough to do all of that at this time? Because just today, it came out in the news that the president said we will end terrorism and banditry in the country. That's a promise. That's something like a prayer. Oh, yes, we will do this. But how can we really do it? Because it's okay to say, I want to build a house. Tell me what resources you have put in place to say you are building a house with. Tell me if you have a land. Show me the CFO. Show me the financial capacity that you have. Show me your bank account to say we want to do this. Because who would like to go to a war without counting the cost, right? So what have we counted the cost? Do we have enough resources to tackle and end banditry, according to what the president has said? I think that's like the fairer question to ask.
Well, I think in Nigeria we are about, by standard, by what people are saying and by what the government is saying, we're about 245 to 250 million people, if not more. And as it stands, Nigeria has about 223,000 military personnel. It could be more, depending on where you're looking at it from, and that includes the Nigerian Army, Navy, Air Force, and some other support units. And by all standards, even the UN standard, that is way too low. Nigeria actually needs more. And you know, you could remember a few months ago, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made that particular statement and said, look, we are going to recruit massively into the Nigerian military and definitely into other places, outfits, to make sure that we block the insufficiency in those areas. But the problem is that it's not really about the military alone. How about the police, the paramilitary agencies? Do we have enough? Some people have spoken about state policing, which some will still argue with you that Nigeria is not right for state policing. But hey, if you want to look at it from the angle of are we ready, we will never be ready, and we'll continue to have challenges of this nature. Nigerian police force is reported at roughly about 370,000 to 372,000. That is way too low. And you talk about what standard in terms of ratio. There hasn't been a single global recommended army size, because military needs vary widely in some countries. However, research suggests that on average, worldwide, there are about 6 active military personnel per 1,000 civilians. That is what the standard should look at. And when you compare the current size we have in Nigeria to what we, the kind of number we parade as citizens, I mean 250 million people, that is way too small. So it means that we have a long distance to cover, we have a long way to go. And shortly before I leave that particular one, we should know that the election is around the corner. Majority of these challenges we are seeing, they are politically generated. Most of them, there are motives behind it. It's not just about insecurity in the country. Don't forget that this is not the first time that we are witnessing something of this nature, if not more, when it comes to election period. If the election is coming to discredit the current administration, you know, there are going to be crises. And statements have been credited to so many people. I could remember, I think that was yesterday, Malam Namsiro Rufai was making a statement about Godswill Akpabio and called him a particular name on national TV. There are some people that really should be cautioned. Late President Muhammadu Buhari also made a statement when he lost an election. I think that was in that should be 2011 or thereabouts. That should be 2011. Yes. And then after losing the election, was still with CPC then. He said, if the baboon and the hunter will be soaked in blood. That for me was a volatile statement, a statement that could set the nation on fire. But what happened then? Nobody said a thing about it. People make unnecessary statements sometimes. You might not even be the one who has actually generated insecurity in the country. But making such statements sets some people off. And then they begin to act not directly to your order, but because they feel like they are working to suit your own ambition. And that does not make us a country. That makes us cowards as individuals. We can easily, you see, what's the role of traditional rulers in all of this? You have your communities, people are doing things that really should not be done in a country and nobody is saying anything. But when it comes to mining, when it comes to making money off the Nigerian people, you know exactly what to do. But when it comes to security, you are suddenly not in charge. I mean, governors will say, oh, we don't have access to the police, we don't have access to the military. But hey, when it comes to the election, we know how many police officers happens to be in the cover of each gubernatorial candidate. But you don't have access to them when Nigerians are being affected. But when it comes to you as an individual, you know what to do. I think it is a deliberate attempt to decimate this administration. It's a deliberate attempt to make Nigerians look like a shadow of itself. And it's a deliberate attempt to cripple Nigeria as a country. And the way forward is quite simple. What we have to do is that the administration should show a little bit of seriousness with body language. Right? Whoever has been caught, there should be capital punishment for capital offenses. Nobody should rob anyone on the head just because, oh, it's done by so-so person. Oh, I know this so-so person. Sometimes they say, oh, a particular criminal was granted bail just because he knows this person. Or just because, see, also the judicial arm of government also has to stand firm. Because in all of this, they are the divide between crime and justice. The moment you stand firm and justice is delivered and people trust the system, you will see that whistleblowing will become bigger than what we are currently seeing in the country.
Let's take a few comments to see what Nigerians are reacting on or what they are saying particularly. PX something says, relax, Tinubu is fixing Nigeria. And he said that, I think, about 5 or 6 times anyway. Favor Felix says, okay, that's, okay. Sunday Divine says, sir, please, advocation division of Nigeria to save Christians. I suggest that all Christians or good Muslims should become one country to fight these bandits that are trying to wipe out both Christians.
I think that's an unnecessary statement, because how do you divide Christians and put Muslims on side and then form a country? I mean, how do you do that? So you automatically stop being a Yoruba or stop being a Kanuri just because a country is to be divided because of religion. I think that, for me, is one of the things that is all next to impossible if there's anything like that. But it's a fine place to leave the show this morning. So thank you for joining us on this show. It has been a wonderful session out there. Do want to link up with us again tomorrow. Same time, same station, of course, same host. One thing is clear, that security is the responsibility of everyone. If you see something, it is quite simple. Say something. Whistle blowing should not be a crime. Of course, it is for your own safety when you blow the whistle. If you see a gathering that you do not trust, call the police. Samson Balogun is my name. Let's see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.
And I will say the only reason why insecurity and all of this will persist is that good men say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. My name is Anolo Akwedo, and on this wrap, bye for now.